Hello Scorpio, this is your December 2016 read. This time of year is getting really busy for me, so instead of missing out any periods, I'm just going to do all of December all at once just to make sure I get it all in there. I've actually changed the tarot deck to the Tarot of the Moon Garden. The paintings are by Karen Marie Schweikart. I don't know if you can see that. But otherwise, it just says it's printed in Belgium and U.S. game systems, so it doesn't really give other than Karen, which I think since she did the pictures, it's pretty much her version of the tarot. And for the advice cards, we have the Angel Therapy cards, Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue, another one of her older decks, and I very much like it. So, without further ado, as usual, I will get right into the read for you. How did I just do that? It still wants to come upside down. Must be I put it back upside down. Okay. Which actually, it's Eight of Swords reversed, so that's kind of good. That has a double one. He's back. As a Pisces, I must say, with us water signs, we're having some issues this month. Every water sign, because I've done Pisces and Cancer, I usually do them like ascending. Cancer, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, right up the line. And that card, I'll be fair, it's the Devil card. It keeps popping out. And it's always near the end of the month. For each one of them. It's near the end of the month. And, you know, it's definitely not a card I really want to get in the front. I actually was just shuffling them before I did this, and I was trying to make sure he stayed to the bottom, and apparently, cards are going to come up like they need to come up. That's just always how it is. Whether you read them right side up, upside down, the messages are going to come the way they need to. So let's get right into it. Your overall energy, even though he's in there, is releasing yourself from situations that you feel no control over. That's like when I see the Eight of Swords this way, it's like being stuck in the middle of something and not knowing how to get out of it. But when it's reversed, I feel like you're getting out of situations or moving on, or like letting go of things that you have no control over. Like letting go of things you just can't do anything about. Or at least you feel you can't do anything about. As we come into this, we got the Six of Swords, and I feel like when I'm looking at this card, it makes me feel like keeping your temper under control. I feel like there's something happens in the beginning of this time frame that kind of aggravates you, but you're just like, you know what? I'm not going to get bent out of shape about it. I'm just going to keep it together. And it may not be that minuscule. I was going to say it may not be that big, but they're telling me it may not be that minuscule. In other words, it may be something that means a lot to you, but you're just like, you know what? I'm just not going to get involved in this crap the same way I have before. I just prefer just to get along. It's just not worth losing my cool over. I was thinking a different word, but you know. I do feel like after that you take action to support that. Like you're just looking like you don't want to, you're just not looking to have this month be crazy. You want to have a good time. You want everybody else to have a good time. It's really, and it's felt this way with the other two water signs. It's community effort. It's like, let's all get along. Let's just have a good time. December, I think for a lot of people, is a certain type of holiday. Whether it be, it's a holiday time for a lot of people, is what I'm thinking. A lot of different ways it goes about. And I feel like that's kind of the energy I'm kind of feeling. Like, you know what, let's just enjoy the time. It's a good time of year. We can hang out. Everybody can get along. Like, why let these things bother me? I feel like that's where you're coming from. When I see this in the environment, this is usually a good card, but I kind of feel like someone, like when that happens and you're keeping your temper under control, I just feel like somebody's egging you on, and I just feel like you're not playing into it. I basically feel like that's what's going on. And I feel like they don't know what to do because you're not playing. I feel like they don't know what to do about that. Okay. So it's like, it's like they're just trying to get your goat. You're just like, nope, not going to do it. And even at the time, you may not even be seeing it in that version of it. you just prefer not to get involved, but afterwards it might you might be like, you know what, this person's just messing with me, it's just not worth it. I do feel like you take that energy forward with you into at least the middle of the month. And I feel like you're very, I got the solar plexus chakra here. When I'm looking at this, I feel like this makes me feel like a victor, especially the stars above make me feel like you're staying with your God center or your personal center, however that may be, and you're just doing what you really like. You're in that home center for me. I mean, there's chakra below that. The sacral chakra is more of a home one, but still, this makes me feel like you're being loyal to the truth that you want to happen. You're being loyal to the. I feel like it's like loyal to the family in a good way. Because when I say loyal to the family, it makes me think of something else. But makes me think of mom, to tell you the truth. But I feel like this is like being loyal to the situation, being loyal to friends and family, just keeping your head above water, not letting things bother you. Now the next part I'm very curious about, because we had two cards pop up, one on top of the other, and I don't know what the bottom one is. So I'm going to try to pick it up without looking at it, because I'm trying not to, I don't want to like, I don't think it's going to let me do that. Well, it's Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is what I'm seeing here. There we go. The Nine of Cups, there's a card behind it. The Nine of Cups makes me feel like just having faith, dreaming about the future. This one makes me feel like there's a lot of beauty to see, just daydreaming about good things, about how things are going, being very happy, thinking things are going very well. And the only reason I think it's coming through is thinking about that is because this card behind me makes me wonder. Oh. So, okay. So, thinking about new things, you have the Queen of Pentacles right behind it. And this one especially makes me feel like you have ideas about what you want to do in the future, and you're starting to formulate where you want to go in a certain situation. Some of you, I have a feeling, if this is a pregnancy card for you, like, at this point, you know you're pregnant. That's what, it's like, this isn't a surprise. Like, you know you're pregnant at this point, and you're just, like, kind of happy about it. But I also feel like you're keeping it to yourself. There's something you want to do if it's, I mean, there's a lot of people watching this. For some of you, maybe a small percentage, I'm thinking it's pregnancy. For other people, I feel like there's something that you've decided you want to do, and you're starting to take steps to do it that you're not telling other people about. A lot of times when cards are behind cards, I feel like there's things going on below the surface that you're not letting people know. This is in your direct line, so I feel like you know about this, whatever this is. It's not a surprise to you, but I feel like people, like even people close to you, don't know what this is, what the situation is that you're planning for the future. I'm also feeling like whatever this is might be why you've been trying to keep yourself kind of calm and out of certain situations, because you have other things, you have bigger plans, and you're just like, I can't be caught up in this craziness right now because I have other bigger plans. This card does pop out near the middle of the month, so it may be that you make the decision, or whatever happens like makes it more of a reality in the middle of the month, to where you can actually do what you want to do. Okay. I also feel like this is also weighing on the next part of the situation. Again, I'm getting this, like, releasing yourself and staying above water feel. Like, cutting your cords makes me feel like you're just not interested. You're really not interested in getting into any type of skirmish with anybody. You're just not really interested in it. But what's next in line for you is that card I told you about in the beginning, that Devil card. So I feel like for some of you, you start telling people about whatever this is, or you start, like, I'm not even sure if you're telling people or you're just kind of like dropping hints about, what if this happened, what about that? And you may not get a couple of responses you like. The Devil card comes, it's kind of weird in this situation, because I feel like it's, you might be getting the better of yourself in this situation. it kind of has this seething feel. Like there's something you want to do, and you have this idea about what you want to do, and you're seeing some things that are helping you go that direction, and I feel like something gets in your way. And it's like you don't really want that. To cut the cords with the devil, like a lot of times that means walking away from something that you shouldn't, but I kind of feel like it's the reverse in this. It's like you're kind of feeling pulled away from something you don't want to be pulled away from. I feel like that's more about what's happening here. Okay. Especially when I don't think other people know what you're planning, and I don't feel like it's something that they're purposely doing, but the way things are working out, it's not going the way you want it to. The devil card's in your direct line, but it makes me feel like you're kind of something like just catches you right off guard, and it goes against the plans you already have for yourself or where you want to go in a certain situation, and I feel like it catches you off guard, and it's kind of where this kind of like you let it be known that you're not cool with that. For your environment, we have the Three of Staffs, and it says workshops and seminars, but I'm going to be honest with you. When I'm seeing these two cards together, it makes me feel like it's just how it happened, and they're just kind of like stepping back. I feel like whoever, if it's more than one person or a person, and I feel like you really like verbally say how you feel. Like there's no joke, no mincing of words, just that's how this is. No, I'm not doing that. Like it just comes out of the blue. Something catches you off guard, and you just really put it right on the line where you stand with that. And I do feel like there's a little bit of aggravation on your side. I feel like you're aggravated and a little like about it. And I feel like whoever you're telling, they kind of back off. Like you come across strong, and they kind of back off, and they're like, I didn't mean for that to come across that way, but it's okay. I feel like after the snap, like it's a little snap, I do feel like things are okay, or at least they seem better. I feel like after you have a chance, like I do feel like you look at the situation again, and you're just like, well, you know, maybe I was a little over animated with what I said, and I think this is how this card's coming through for me. Like I feel like you may have said things or it come across really strong, and after the fact, it's just kind of like I didn't really want it to come out that way, that type of feel. That's kind of how it feels. Like you kind of came across really strong. Like, I feel like something catches you off guard, and it's just kind of you react, and it just kind of comes out. The star, actually, this seems to be in your line and dipping down in the environmental. So I feel like afterwards, I feel like there's either a talk or some type of understanding, and things seem better. Things seem better afterwards. Like whatever ignites that spark. I feel like after you say your piece and have a moment to breathe, I feel like when you're having it, the other person or people they just kind of step back and like, okay, all right. And I feel like the way it plays out, I don't feel like they give you a hard time about it, but afterwards, because they back off so easily, I feel like you're kind of like, well, all right, I did come across a little harsh. I feel like there's a lot of passion on your side, and it just kind of like comes right out. It does. That's kind of the feel I'm getting. Like it's like something catches you off guard, and it's like you've been keeping yourself together, holding things together, and just like it seems like it's inevitable, especially because the Devil card is a major arcana. It just makes me feel like that's going to happen in some form. I'm trying to see if there's other ways that's going to come through, but I feel like it's coming through strongest that you're like caught off guard, and because you're caught off guard, you kind of react, and it comes across strong. You're not purposely trying to be aggressive. It's just kind of like, it's almost like reaction. It's like act and react type situation. Like, but afterwards, I feel like things start to sort out a little more, but I do feel like you're keeping some of that situation that you are dreaming about or wanting to happen to yourself, especially since you seem to be making it go forward. And you might be continuing to pave the road the way you want it to without people really knowing why. You just haven't, some of you haven't decided whether you want to divulge what's happening yet or not. Others of you are just like a little upset about the situation and just don't want to talk about it. Okay, we're good. There's a reminder card here, which is a law of attraction. If you don't know what that is, it's basically visualizing what you want. And like, I feel like in the beginning, keeping above the situation and staying in that level, I feel like that's actually making the situation near the end of the month better. So that the better you succeed in the beginning by keeping yourself together, and even though somebody's like egging at you or egging you a little bit, the more you can keep that under control and like keep yourself in that positive mindset, it does help you in the end of the month. Because I feel like it goes kind of good. I don't feel like it's really that bad. Like, I feel like it's almost like, because I almost feel like time served. I don't know why that came through. Like other people kind of egging at you a little bit, and you keeping it together and not getting upset about it. Like, I feel like that goes to your benefit. Excuse me. And when this situation does happen, hit the fan, if you will, it doesn't feel like it's very long. I feel like it's very short-lived. It's just really short-lived. And it doesn't have to mean that it's that intense, but it does feel, it feels intense to you. Like, it's the situation that means a lot to you. I don't feel like there's any damage with the relationships or anything around you. I just feel like to you, when that happens, like it bothers you, and it's you do kind of, it just catches you off guard. You react, and then afterwards, it's kind of like, you know, you haven't decided whether you want to tell people or not, or there's part of it you're kind of keeping to yourself. I kind of feel like that, because I feel like you're just feeling a little sensitive about the situation. Not that that's a good or a bad thing. It just seems to be where it kind of feels at this point. But people around you are still coming. They come back around. Like, I don't feel like it becomes a big skirmish. Just like when you react, they back up. Because they're like, oh, okay. And then because of that, like, you're like, well, maybe I did overreact a little bit. A little bit. Of course, in the comments below, let me know. This is for all of December, so I realize it'll be maybe the end of December before it makes sense, or who knows. I get a lot of times from people that, you know, when you see this reading, it usually makes sense at the time. Like, people seem to know exactly what it's talking about. Some people come back to it later, and they're like, well, I didn't know exactly in the beginning, but now I know afterwards. However, I always love to see the comments. Thank you very much for everybody who does that. And, of course, if you want a direct reading from me, go ahead, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com, james4astral@gmail.com. Thank you.